Right now, I believe that President John Dramani Mahama of Ghana is moving in the right direction.
Okay, let me clarify a few things. First of all, if you read the staff report, paragraphs 32 to 36, you will see that the IMF has not classified or characterized the domestic gold purchase program as a purely loss-making operation, okay?
Ghana will proceed with discipline. We will not borrow simply because financing is available. Every project must be economically justified, transparently procured, and capable of supporting growth, generating revenue, and reducing costs.
I mean, Africa cannot continue to be a dependent continent. There are things we can do so that we're able to have a better voice in global affairs. And so that's where it all started, and it's continued.
But how do you actually break that dependency syndrome?
Now, one reason why IMF have never made Ghana to rest since John Dramani Mahama took over. Remember, they used to praise a friend saying MPP. When things were still getting bad, when Ghana was in the junk state, when we were still under IMF. But the very moment IMF is not happy about you, then it means you are doing well. I remember, is it Thomas Sankara who said, the day you see a white man praising me, it means I've betrayed you. And then why is the IMF on Ghana nerves? Why? Is it because Ghana have decided not to transport their gold or export their gold in its raw forms? Is it because John Dramani Mahama is preaching about Pan-Africanism? Is it because John Dramani Mahama wants an independent Africa and independent Ghana? Is it because he's finally uniting the African leaders and they are rallying behind him? Or is it because our finance minister, Dr. ATO FORSON, is forcing too much? As he was stabilizing the economy, and IMF, or how they should rule us. And I always say, there's nothing that you can convince me. Say IMF for Ghana. So Ghana on can't tell say president no overspending no or no bedi loan no or no the on can who has move. But Beka tell say my teachers, my nurses. Yentu utility bill mo obi atwa. How can you say this person like you? Now the IMF urges tighter control over GoldBod program amid concern over Bank of Ghana losses. They predicted a doom for our currency because of the way now Bank of Ghana handle things. All of a sudden, they are so much interested about the friend saying debt. ASO Bank of Ghana and the GoldBod and now they want to now coach us on how to govern our country. And then, unfortunately, the president is saying that he wants Africa to be independent. The vice president, Jenna Nopokwajiman, have also added her voice. Say Africa must build out the Africa that we want. Maybe this is scaring the global south. Professor Lumumba is telling John Dramani Mahama, Ibrahim Traore, is telling Boko of Botswana, he's telling all this Paul Kagame that look, Africa now trusts in your leadership. You people are now the most loved. You are carrying the Pan-African spirit. But you people should be very careful about Bill Gates, Tony Blair. You should be careful about certain institutions outside Africa. They don't want the betterment of Africa. You should be careful of Emmanuel Macron. And I think we should be careful of IMF and World Bank too. What do you think? Why is IMF disturbing our peace like that? Is it because we are not exporting our gold raw anymore? Or is just that genuinely they care about us? I'll give you the information. You and I will digest it under the comment section. But for now, drop your comment into the comment section as to what is actually wrong with IMF and why are they chasing us every day, every time, just speaking about Ghana? What are we missing? Tell me under the comment section if you are new. Subscribe, like, share, na ɔhwɛ ɛdeɛ no yɛ baako pɛ max billion ɛwɔ naked truth old Boga Trends.
Okay, let me clarify a few things. First of all, if you read the staff report, paragraphs 32 to 36, you will see that the IMF has not classified or characterized the domestic gold purchase program as a purely loss-making operation, okay? Instead, it emphasizes both the benefits and the costs associated with the program. On the benefits side, the DGPP, the Domestic Gold Purchase Program, has helped to accumulate reserves, has also alleviated some of the pressure on the FX market in difficult times, and it helped the BOG diversify the reserve accumulation and the exports. Okay, so these are clear points, well acknowledged in the report. At the same time, the report makes the case that there are operational and financial risks associated with the program, particularly when it comes to the GoldBod related flows. Okay, and those operational and financial risks come from trading activities, from exchange rate risks, and financing risks, because the gold is also volatile, so there is market risk involved, and also how gold is financed and monetized also matters. Okay, so the assessment done on the exposure in the report basically just tries to bring more transparency to the program and at the same time help improve risk management surrounding the program. Now, I would say a key clarification for what has been mentioned in the report is that GoldBod related activities are quasi-fiscal in nature. Therefore, any loss associated with these activities should not be on the BOG balance sheet, but rather should be brought on balance, on the budget, on the fiscal side. And let me explain why. Because any losses or any issues related to the program will eventually lead to a weaker BOG balance sheet that could risk the implementation of their core mandate, which is price stability. So it can impair their ability and credibility, and eventually can fade central bank independence. So this was one point that I wanted to make and basically give you a balanced view of what has been said in the report. So in a nutshell, the DGPP program has brought lots of benefits, and those are acknowledged. And at the same time, there are risks associated, and with better management, better governance, and sustainability, the program can bring even more benefits. So going forward, I think the public debate and the discourse has brought all these things to the surface, and I would say brought more transparency, and eventually it will lead to a system to a program where you maximize the benefits and at the same time minimize the costs associated with the program.
So this, and sorry if I just want to get some education here. So this expected loss or whatever, was it more of a projection rather than your analysis on the exposure to say that BOG would end the year with this X loss because of the trading and all those things? What was the basis of the staff in their assessment to say that this is going to be the expected loss?
Okay, so let me clarify that point. At least what I understood from the speculative term used by the BOG. By now, this might have changed in the meantime, but basically what they probably meant was that the data that the team has reviewed and analyzed was not final, because the 2025 accounts are not yet audited. So the expected losses or the realized losses in the end might change up and down once the audit is completed.
Yeah, but I know that, yes, in auditing, I mean, by now anybody who's working on this area knows the expected loss, and sometimes maybe, if I want to use the expression of +1 or -1, it won't be out when you try to do your extrapolations and projections. But again, to help my viewers appreciate this, because I know what the fund goes through in putting together their staff report. This is not like a media person saying hearsay. There's a team on the ground, there's a technical assessment. Even before a staff report comes out, it goes through several departments at the IMF. So when a fund says something in their staff report, this is not based on hearsay. And that's what I'm just trying to establish that. So what was the basis of that projection, that you saw the numbers, you did your own review based on your engagement, and the fund or the staff stand by the assessment that based on the current arrangement, BOG would end the year making this X loss because of their exposure to GoldBod.
Indeed, the fund will stand by their assessment, and that you are correct. It went through a thorough review process. Ultimately, as I mentioned, what is important here to realize is that we didn't want to assign any blame on BOG, GoldBod, or the Ministry of Finance. What we wanted to achieve with this disclosure is more transparency, and that we ultimately put in place the risk management and the right checks and balances such that we minimize the costs associated with the program. The benefits of the program are very clear and well emphasized in the report.
According to the IMF, they are urging Ghana to have a tighter control over GoldBod program and concerns over Bank of Ghana losses. We should go and we should have a tighter control over GoldBod. The GoldBod that have given us the big push. The GoldBod is the reason why our currency is stable now. The GoldBod is the reason why our foreign reserve is now smiling good. The GoldBod is the reason why our foreign reserve, we are now targeting 15 months of import. The GoldBod, that is the reason why that our inflation has not been stable. That same GoldBod, we should not be micro managing them. What the fuck? Why should we have that problem? Like, why is IMF, look, I'm pay us. So, and they have never liked us. When the boss, they never like us. They never like, they have never liked us. They will never like us. And I don't know why we keep on even going to them. I always blame Africa. Like there's a curse in Africa. And maybe one day I have to sacrifice myself for Africa, because this nonsense have to stop. You go to the Arab countries, the Middle East, all they have is their oil and their desert. Yet they will build the economy they want, they will build the country they want, they will even give donations. Just recently, Qatar was giving about $600 billion, Saudi Arabia rather, $600 billion to the United States of America. And it's only oil. And these Arab and Middle East countries, you know, they are enjoying themselves. We have the oil, we have the gold, the timber, the bauxite, the manganese, the lithium. Mention it. And we are always still having, oh, please, won't you give us some loan? We are still taking quick loan from IMF. That's the reason why they can be on our neck. That's the reason why they don't respect us. That's the reason why they keep on piling pressure on us. And I don't get it. I don't. What should we do? What can we do to stop this IMF interfering in our affairs? They are the reason why they are the one causing fear and panic in the country. And they must stop, we must stop them. According to the finance minister, Dr. ATO FORSON, the man who is forcing, the man who is the reason why, the superintendent, the supervisor, the man who is supervising the well-being of Ghana economy. Yesterday, I made it clear, Ghana will proceed with discipline. We will only accept financing for projects that create jobs, grow exports, reduce costs, and protect debt sustainability.
As we assume financing cooperation, Ghana will proceed with discipline. We will not borrow simply because financing is available. Every project must be economically justified, transparently procured, and capable of supporting growth, generating revenue, and reducing costs. Any road, railway, power plant, industrial enclave, or other infrastructure financed through this cooperation must improve productivity, create jobs, increase export, and strengthens Ghana's ability to repay its obligation. We will diversify our financing sources, protect debt sustainability, and avoid a return to the conditions that led to the 2022 debt crisis.
And this is the kind of message the IMF hates. Because we can only accept financing for projects from other foreign countries, other institutions outside Ghana, if it's going to create jobs for Ghanaians, if it's going to grow our exports, so that we can produce it here, people will get jobs here, and then we will export the final product outside the country and still make money, revenue out of it, which will help us reduce the costs that we incur on daily basis, monthly basis, or yearly basis, and to protect debt sustainability, so that it won't just be we are borrowing and borrowing and borrowing for borrowing's sake. Lie, imbano, it won't happen. And this is what the finance minister, Dr. ATO FORSON, is saying. And I love this man so much. And he speaks with so much confidence, and the words, not plenty jargons, no Bible quotation, straight to the point, and easy to understand. And I know you have understood it. And this is also why, part of the reason why IMF have that hate for us. Now let's go to where John Dramani Mahama, John Kwame Nkrumah, John Ababu, John the Joy Giver, is also telling Africa, look, let's be partners with the world, not beggars. We shouldn't just be an hub where they just dump everything on us. And I'm loving it. Ghana President says Africa must break away from dependency and strengthen its position as a global partner. He argues that Africa's prosperity will benefit the global economy and calls for greater investment in education, healthcare, and economic development.
I mean, Africa cannot continue to be a dependent continent. There are things we can do so that we're able to have a better voice in global affairs. And so that's where it all started, and it's continued.
But how do you actually break that dependency syndrome that you speak about? How do you make sure that Africa as a whole can assert itself and be seen through a different lens as a global partner, not as a continent that has long been seen through the lens of turmoil, conflict, and dependency?
Let me say one thing. Africa's prosperity is not a threat to anybody. Indeed, Africa's prosperity will be a benefit to the whole global economy. And so it's in the interest of the whole world that Africa prospers and that Africa does well, and that we're able to overcome the challenges that we face in terms of, growing our economies, in terms of, providing education for our people, in terms of healthcare and all that. We can do things better. One, in Ghana, we've started with the reset agenda. We call it the reset agenda. We believe that the time has come for us to add value to our natural resources rather than just export them. And I'll give you a few examples. From colonial periods, we have been the second largest exporter of cocoa beans. Now, just about 30% of those cocoa beans are processed locally. The rest, 70%, is shipped abroad. those beans that are shipped abroad represent jobs that are leaving Ghana because the processing takes place. Sometimes we have to import them back, so we are saying that, look, we want to raise processing to at least 50%. And so we're changing the model by which we finance cocoa purchases. We're raising those bonds ourselves. We took a bill to Parliament. Parliament has approved it. So we've changed that model to give us better control of our beans. I've also said that by 2030, we want to end raw ore, mineral ore exports. We want to process those ores here. Manganese and all of them are special minerals that are useful for the whole EV revolution and all that.
Yeah.
And so we can do some of the primary and secondary processing of those minerals here.
So John Dramani Mahama is speaking to these African fellows that yes, in 2027 he will resume the chair as the chairman of the African Union. But all person or country Africa would now say, look, let's be sincere. Let's tell ourselves. We have all the natural resources here. We have the human capital, the human resources is here. The young ones who are vibrant, they are here. And we have the resources here. Without us, the global south will suffer. They will struggle because they need our resources to survive. But we make them feel like we need them to survive. So let's be careful. Let's stop this. Let's make sure that we can build on our education. Make sure that there's a lot of educated people that the wise man, the IMF, the World Bank, the like of Bill Gates and Co. will not just walk in here, tell us any gibberish, and we accept it. Let's build a strong economy that can withstand any challenges that will come from outside. And I'm 100% in support of it. And this is also why the man speak with a lot of passion, dedication to bring that African spirit that Kwame Nkrumah left together. But the problem is the whites also hate it. IMF and the World Bank hate it. And this is also part of the reason why they keep on stepping on our necks. They don't want us to liberate ourselves from that mental slavery. So all the time they are giving us grants, they are donating something, or they are ready to give us loans. Even when they know our politicians are going to do choppy without loan. And the time has come for us to side with our leaders. Let's all unite, come together, fight against this imperialism and neocolonialism. End this hard trend, Because I don't think the IMF means so well for us. And I wonder why the NPP always, they report Ghana to IMF. The NPP, Adams, the former finance minister, will report Ghana to IMF. Afonyo Markins will go report Ghana to IMF. Then they will use IMF. NPP will use IMF friends release. And then we'll be disturbing the country. So you think the IMF mean well for us? Do they mean well for us? Like how sometimes we pretend that they are? I doubt. What about you? Don't you doubt? Yes. And I'm about to tell you one thing. But listen to the Vice President, Nana Akufo-Addo, saying that, look, we cannot expect the Africa we want. We have to build the Africa that we want. Now, this is in line with what John Dramani Mahama is also saying. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Professor Lumumba was asked, which of the African leaders do you think are still fighting for the Pan-Africanism, for the uniting African spirit? He mentioned John Dramani Mahama of Ghana, Paul Kagame of Rwanda, Boko of Botswana, and then Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Saying that these people still have the spirit in them. They still want that better Africa. And I think I want better Africa too, and you want better Africa. Then he warned them against people like Tony Blair, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the French President Emmanuel Macron, Bill Gates, one of the billionaires on the planet Earth, that they should be very careful because they will come with a lot of money, something that seems a lot of money, because they are involved in agriculture, health, they are involved in almost everything. They will deceive you, use their NGOs, lie to you, put problem in your continent, extort money from you in a way that you cannot even imagine. And then they will make you poor and poorer.
Right now, I believe that President John Dramani Mahama of Ghana is moving in the right direction. Like him or hate it, Paul Kagame still believes in an African project.
Okay.
And then Boko in Botswana believes in an African project. In the Sahel, Traore has his problems, but he believes in an African project. Those are the ones that I can count, but they must be wary of two individuals. There is no defamation here because we can defend them. They must be wary of Emmanuel Macron.
Yeah.
They must be wary of another person called Tony Blair.
Retired PM?
Yes,
Okay.
because he has an advisory thing. Even here, he has a thing in Nairobi. He's advising all manner of African presidents.
Yeah, I know he has an NGO. Of
Yes,
sorts, yes.
they must be wary of that. Then they must be wary of another individual called Bill Gates. These individuals, the three of them, because they are everywhere, they're in health, they are in education, they are in agriculture, and they come with money.
Lots of money.
Lots of money. But it's not lots of money. It appears to be lots of money. We have more money internally that we can generate if you marshal African billionaires. And Aliko Dangote is beginning to show the way in the oil sector. We can look at a few of them in the continent and put them together, then use our institution, African Exim Bank, which is now present in about 20 countries, complete with a payment system. African Development Bank, if we jettison some of these funds. East African Development.
Me 100%, I accept this one. 100%, I accept this one. Now, one reason why IMF have never made Ghana to rest since John Dramani Mahama took over. Remember, they used to praise a friend saying MPP. When things were still getting bad, when Ghana was in the junk state, when we were still under IMF. But the very moment IMF is not happy about you, then it means you are doing well. I remember, is it Thomas Sankara who said, the day you see a white man praising me, it means I've betrayed you. When the white man decided to praise you, look at another Dankwa France President Emmanuel Macron gave me actually an award for doing what? When the country people were so much angry about the present governance, you are giving me what award? But it happened. The very moment they start praising you higher, it means that person is doing the bidding of the white man. So if IMF cannot actually stand and praise us continuously, but they always have to tell us, hey, control GoldBod, control Bank of Ghana, we are not controlling anything. Yenya my life, mom. Let Bank of Ghana be. Let GoldBod be. Because we know we are not exporting raw gold anymore. There's 7.1 metric tons of gold, according to CEOs of GoldBod. Sami Janfi, ye Tony na Ghana ha, ye Nani na Ghana, Refani na Ghana ha. 50% of our cocoa, you know, go travel. We go process them for here. Manganese bauxite, lithium, you go refine all for here. Our currency last year in 2025 outperformed United States currency, the dollar, the UK pounds, and Europe, euros. Overperforming in all these currencies. So you think they will be happy? That the way people are managing your economy be like they will come for loan, and the more loan there. This is a case. The more you so you should hate the same way they told us our own traditional practice was bad. Yes, some bosom and a bosom niano and a den de affinity. Yananum, Nesma bosom, Naya dear, ya besum you was the same sir. And I said, yeah. Then by the time we realize we don't regard our ancestors, we don't regard our worships, we don't regard our traditional way, and therefore, how we think about financing, so they want to tell us that because they taught us, we don't know. We still don't know the thing. Akwala thing, you don't know the thing. I'm teaching you the thing. You are joking with the thing. It is a say no. Omu teaching you the thing. And the Bank of Ghana and GoldBod and learning the thing. But you see, we don't want to learn the thing. So IMF is telling us that we should check GoldBod very well. So I've given you the clue the reason why IMF is not happy, and John Dramani Mahama, his continuous speech, that says it all. He's like, it means that he wants Africa to liberate themselves finally, quarter, from IMF, World Bank, and other global south for any more stupid policy. Now, we know, easy. Can we once and for all tell IMF to shut up? And why is it that MPP is always happy when IMF says something negative? And when IMF says something positive, do they actually care about us? And I'm a doubt, no. I don't know about you. Catch up your comment section as you are subscribing, like it. Shemonia, as we any no on here. You know, ever max billion. I will naked to the Oboga trends. Macau. Bye bye.